most interesting thing that has happened to me was actually failing the JEE entrance exam. When I got into IIM Visakhapatnam, that changed my life and gave me so many new opportunities that I had not even imagined.
क्या कर रहे हो मतलब कंटेंट क्रिएटर बन जाओ.
Do something that is society के हिसाब से बहुत अच्छा. या तो IIT करो तो MBBS. ये दोनों अगर आप कर रहे हो तो आप intelligent हो according to them.
And how is your brother doing? Like, do kids with Down syndrome get to have a happy life, and how does it affect their parents?
And being financially independent, the same person who used to tell me कि बेटा रोटी बनाना सीख लो, now tells me कि बेटा रोटी बनाने के लिए बाई रख लो. A lot of people have asked me life at IIM, how did IIM help you, package after IIM, work after IIM. Nobody really tried to ask questions that are related to me as a person.
But find a man who doesn't start with the default assumption that it's the woman who has to compromise.
अगर आपको किसी ने धक्का दे दिया है ना पूल में, तो आप स्विमिंग सीख ही लोगे. ठीक है, अगर आप नहीं IIM से हो तो नहीं है उतनी सैलरी.
Prestigious degree from a college is not going to help you.
श्रुति तुमसे पूछा.
So, welcome Shruti to the episode. How are you?
Hello, welcome. Sorry, can we restart? I just
Don't
thought that
worry.
I am the host.
No, you don't need to restart. You don't need to restart, Shruti. I mean, for the viewers, I mean, Shruti is very used to saying welcome. She's very used to saying welcome because she's a host. And this is probably one of the first time, Shruti, you're a guest.
No, I think third or fourth time I've been invited on a podcast. So most of the times when it says record, I am the host and I'm like, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Shruti Sonami. So I'm so used to that.
Very good, very good, very good. श्रुति कभी मेरे को मतलब मैं सॉरी आपकी इंट्रोडक्शन से पहले ही मैं थोड़ा सा एंगल मार रहा हूँ कि मेरे को भी कभी गेस्ट बना के बुलाओ ना अपने चैनल पे.
बिल्कुल पक्का.
मेरे को किसी ने नहीं बुलाया.
No, I definitely have a plan to start podcast, and as of now, I haven't interviewed much people. But when I start, definitely you are on the list.
Perfect.
We know from your LinkedIn that you're an IIM Visakhapatnam graduate. You graduated last year, and now you're working with Integrates Health. And before that, you did your BTech. Our goal for the next 1 hour is to know what people cannot know from the internet about Shruti by Googling your name and going to your LinkedIn profile. So tell us one of the things that's most interesting about you. What is something that we don't know about Shruti and that makes it interesting?
That's an interesting question, actually. So, okay. I think the most interesting thing that has happened to me was actually failing the JEE entrance exam.
Okay.
Because at that time, I thought getting into IIT was the only way to be successful. I come from a small town. I mean, not really a town. I come from a small city. And we have been hearing these things like the only way to get successful is अच्छे से पढ़ाई लिखाई करो, पैसे कमाओ, और successful तुम तभी हो सकते हो. So unconventional choices, failures are not really you're not really taught to embrace it or take it as it comes or see it as a stepping stone. You think failing in one exam is actually a failure. So not making it, now that I realize, not making it feel like a big failure is an interesting thing to me. I now see it as a turning point. It has really pushed me to think differently. It has really pushed me to explore new options. And later when I got into IIM Visakhapatnam, that changed my life and gave me so many new opportunities that I had not even imagined. After that failure, I actually tried to build resilience. I actually tried to adapt myself to the failure and the idea that you are not always going to win in life. And it is fine. Now that I'm in a full-time corporate job, slowly sharing my journey online, what began as a small post, as you said, now I look at it into something bigger. I can now help students, young professionals make better choices in the career. So looking back, not getting into IIT was a blessing in disguise. It actually taught me that success can come in many forms. Sometimes not getting what you want actually can lead you to something even better. And hence, I consider that failure as the most interesting, the biggest turning point in my life.
So Shruti, I'll tell you one thing is कि हमारे चैनल पे इतनी सारी IIM ग्रेजुएट लड़कियां आई हैं वो सब इंजीनियर हैं। एंड when we grew up in the 90s, when we grew up, होता था कि लड़कियां या यूजुअली आर्ट्स करती थी, और अगर साइंस करना भी है तो डॉक्टर बनते थे। इंजीनियरिंग में ना बहुत कम होती थी। And I'm amazed how India is number one progressed, and we have a biased sample set. We have a biased sample set क्योंकि वो bias है कि वो IIM में कौन पहुंचता है, कि इज इट इंजीनियरिंग वाली लड़कियां, और इज इट कि लड़कियां ज्यादा इंजीनियरिंग कर रही हैं? व्हाट्स योर व्यू?
I think a bigger or a greater point than that is engineering. Maybe I was in a batch where the majority was boys, 80% was the boys, and 20% female ratio. In I am Vishakhapatnam also in my batch, the batch ratio was same 20-30% girls and 70-80% boys. Now, coming to your point, do we really think that only engineer girls are getting into MBA? I don't think so. Overall, engineers is zyada hai MBA mein. Our batch actually had 80%, 70-80% of engineers, and non-engineers were 20-30%. And that is actually a scale if you go across IIMs or top B schools. That might also be a reason because engineers have maths and a touch of maths in their entire engineering years also. So it makes them easy to crack quants or say DILR because the mathematical equations are not really forgotten after school and they still have a hang of it. So maybe that could be a reason that it turns out CAT में ज़्यादा लोग engineering वाले हैं और MBA में भी है. Second thing, India में engineers वैसे ही बहुत ज़्यादा थे अब तक. Now that people have started exploring options, non-conventional careers, taking arts, taking commerce with pride is a step that has been taken after 20-30 years. इंडिया में पहले ऑप्शन ही दिए जाते थे कि बेटा इंजीनियर बनोगी, डॉक्टर बनोगी, फिर धीरे धीरे एक ऑप्शन और ऐड हुआ कि बेटा इंजीनियर बनोगी, डॉक्टर बनोगी या सीए बनोगी. Now when I see my brothers and cousins and their kids, they literally ask them that, do you like arts, do you like painting, do you think you can make a career out of it? They make content on anything and everything, whatever the opportunities they have around them. So I think careers are redefining in India, and we would not see उतने इंजीनियर्स और डॉक्टर्स जितने अभी हमें देखने में मिलते हैं, मे बी इन 10 or 20.
आई थिंक आजकल तो लोग पूछ रहे होंगे ना कि बेटा इंजीनियरिंग डॉक्टर कर रहे हो या मतलब क्या कर रहे हो, मतलब कंटेंट क्रिएटर बन जाओ.
Yeah, I think that is so again I think that is not an option given. It is like कि हाँ वो तो आप कर ही सकते हो side by side. It is still taken as a hobby or a passion and not really like a mainstream career. Even when I am creating content, if I go home and tell my dad that I want to take content creation full time, maybe he might take it very positively at this moment because he has now seen me creating content for a year or two. But in the extended families or in the society, they'll be like, okay, तो फिर आपने
मैं तो
IIM
एक
से जो
और
पढ़ाई
चीज
की.
इस पे ना ऐड करता हूँ. सो मैं ना शुरू में जब हमारा चैनल शुरू हुआ, तो आई वाज सेंडिंग अपनी मम्मी डैडी को कि हमारे ये है, देख लो, थोड़े से व्यूज मिल जाएंगे, 2-3 एक्स्ट्रा व्यूज मिल जाएंगे. वही हमारे लिए था कि अब 10 के बदले 12 व्यूज मिल जाएंगे, दैट काइंड ऑफ अ थिंग कि देख लो. एंड मेरी मम्मी ने मेरे को एक दिन फोन किया, बेटा ये सब क्या लगा के रखा हुआ है, तुम काम वाम नहीं कर रहे हो अब? मैं नहीं मम्मी, हम संडे को करते हैं ये सब, मतलब बाकी मंडे टू फ्राइडे तो हम अपना काम ही कर रहे हैं. हाँ हाँ हाँ, वही करना, काम करना, ये सब चीजों में कुछ नहीं रखा है. बट सी, आई एम अ 90s 80s किड, माय मम इज लाइक ऑफ एन इवन प्रीवियस जनरेशन. तो वो अभी भी उनके वो दिमाग में है कि ये सब मत करना.
So Shruti, you said something very interesting that failing to get into IIT has been a defining part of your journey. Now, we all get that, right? Obviously, India में जब मैं बड़ा हुआ तो there was a lot of stigma to failure. और जब मैं Silicon Valley में हूँ, the failure is just considered, okay, you did something, you learned something. Can you describe it to me a little bit more? कि कितनी पढ़ाई करी थी तुमने जेई में? Were you like committed? एक होता है कि एक इंसान होता है जो 2 साल से पढ़ाई करता है क्लास 10 के बाद से, when you're in 11th and 12th, you're studying for JEE, and like their teachers think they'll get into JEE, their friends think they'll get into JEE. Like, what was that episode like? Because there's something to be said about how intense was that was that failure. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So as you said, ki, was it intense because I prepared a lot and I couldn't clear it, or was it because of the environment around me that believed that I can achieve it but I didn't? It's the option two. It's not like I had a very intense preparation strategy. I studied for 12, 15 hours or like that. The problem was I was a very celebrated child, the one who almost comes in top 3 or 5 in the class, who gets Olympiads with gold medals in the schools, who is also on the anchoring stage events on the stage, who gets participation into debates, cultural events, and all of these things in the schools and even in the junior college. Now, when you're a celebrated child, people around you, not just your parents, but their friends, your relatives, everybody thinks that you should do something that is society के हिसाब से बहुत अच्छा. तो मैंने जैसे बोला कि या तो आईआईटी करो तो एमबीबीएस, ये दोनों अगर आप कर रहे हो तो आप इंटेलिजेंट हो अकॉर्डिंग टू देम. नाउ इफ दे परसीव मी एज एन इंटेलिजेंट स्टूडेंट या इंटेलिजेंट किड, इट वाज बिकॉज मैं क्लास में फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड आती थी. दे नेवर फिगर्ड आउट इफ आई एम वेरी गुड एट फिजिक्स और इफ आई एम वेरी गुड एट हिस्ट्री और इफ आई एम वेरी गुड एट आर्ट्स. ऑल दे न्यू वाज तू क्लास में फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड आई है तो तू आईआईटी जाएगी या तो तू डॉक्टर बनेगी. So that thing, that stigma was actually somewhere rooted in me. Second, I also could not accept that I could fail because school में I didn't see a failure. Now the second thing is India में 10th boards, 12th boards, IIT JEE entrance, NEET, इन एग्जाम्स को एक्चुअली बहुत बड़ा माना जाता है. मतलब यू कॉल योर कजिन्स एंड आस्क कि तेरा तो इस साल 10th बोर्ड्स था तो बेटा कितने परसेंट आए, 90 क्रॉस किया. और ये अभी भी होता है. आई स्टिल हैव माय नीस नेफ्यूज वर इन 10th. आई गो होम एंड माय मॉम इज लाइक, यू नो आईसीएससी 10th का बोर्ड्स है, कॉल ऑन एंड आस्क ना कितने परसेंटेज आए हैं. Now that percentage is not really going to change her future, or not, it's not a defining path or point for her career, but everybody somehow just puts a tag ki she got 98% in 10th boards, so now she's definitely getting into a government college, she's going to have a bright future, she's not going to fail, she'll earn a lot of money, become successful. That kind of nourishment was also passed on to me and I believed in it. I think that was also a major reason कि जब जेई क्लियर नहीं हुआ तो मुझे ज्यादा बुरा लगा. Second thing, do you, as you asked, do you think you really intensely prepared for JEE? No, I somehow in the 11th standard when you give all India mocks, I did see that I'm not getting ranks that I should get if I want to get in an IIT. But I was not ready to drop 11th, or I was not ready to accept that I could not clear IIT JEE, or I could not get into an NIT or a government college. Because people around me said कि तू intelligent है, तू कर लेगी बेटा, कर लो. So I was like, okay, कर लेते हैं, इस मॉक में नहीं आ रहे, अगले में आएंगे. And then that continued.
So, what was it that, why didn't you put in the effort? Like what I'm hearing is that because I was a celebrated child, but मैंने उतने ट्यूशंस नहीं किए, उतनी पढ़ाई नहीं करी. Why not?
Huh. I think it was also because they were not subjects of my choice, or I wasn't really inclined towards it. So one thing I know about myself is if I love something, I definitely give my all. I mean, I do more than 100% for it. But if I'm not really interested from the core, या अगर मैं उस चीज के लिए बहुत अंदर से ही पैशनेट नहीं हूँ, तो मैं रात रात भर जाके पढ़ाई करूंगी, वो चीज आप मुझ में नहीं डाल सकते हो. बिकॉज आई थिंक आई वाजंट पैशनेट अबाउट डूइंग engineering or getting into an IIT from within. Now that I was passionate about creating a YouTube channel, there were a lot of batchmates in IIM Visakhapatnam, a lot of people, my old friends, who mocked me for doing it. I still did it.
So I think in the first 12 minutes you've broached upon two fundamental pillars of success. One, failure is a stepping stone, and second, you gotta do something you're passionate about. Because in today's world, to succeed, you have to be able to do. मैंने अगर कोई उसको जॉब समझ के कर रहा है और आप पैशन समझ के कर रहे हो, तो जॉब वाले को तो वो कभी compete ही नहीं कर सकता आपके संग, right? Because for you, the hours that you work on your YouTube channel doesn't even feel like work probably. So those are very critical points. The other thing that you mentioned was this whole idea of a celebrated child, right? I wanted to understand that a little bit more. So was it something like you being the only child in your house, or कि जैसे, you know, like I have a daughter and she's like, dad celebrated child. She lifts up her hand and I said, wow, it has the best hand that has ever been lifted. So can you explain that a little bit more, the idea of celebrated child?
Sure. So I think it's not just one factor. There are multiple factors to it. And now that you've asked that question, even it puts me into a thought that what could be the reasons that I was a celebrated child? Because nobody's born special, right? There are some things that are different. I think the first thing was, I was a talkative and a very brave kid. So when somebody like guests used to come at home, I wasn't the shy kid. I was like, "Beta, poem sunao to main sunaungi. Beta, gana gao to main gaungi." So that also, that if you tell something to your kid and they obey and they do something. Second was, as I said, I wasn't a shy kid. So I was 3 or 3.5 when my parents first time told my class teacher, like nursery class teacher, that 26 January pe she can also participate in the speech. She told me to learn a speech and I delivered it fearlessly in front of, I don't know the number of audience. I guess it must be 300, 400, the school ka size. So my parents were really proud of it because public speaking at that age fearlessly is a big thing. So those might be the things that I wasn't shy, I was talkative, I was a bit fearless.
श्रुति, तुमसे पूछा, तुमसे पूछ के did they take your consent?
I am not really sure, but I think
ये आजकल ना ये वेस्टर्न सोसाइटीज में इतना बड़ा केस हो गया है, वो ना स्कूल वाले पूछते हैं, हैव यू टेकन योर किड्स कंसेंट टू वॉलंटियर फॉर दिस? एंड मेरा दिमाग खराब हो गया है कि यार बच्चे से क्या पूछना।
नहीं, मैं तो 3 साल की थी, अगर मुझसे पूछा भी होता तो
एग्जैक्टली नहीं 3 साल से शुरू करते हैं नर्सरी में यहाँ पे। आई एम श्योर कि इंडिया को भी पता है यार, ये हर जगह मतलब बहुत ही ज्यादा वो हो गया कि 3 साल के बच्चे से आपने कंसेंट लिया है बिफोर वॉलंटियरिंग दैट किड। या सॉरी तो तुमने रिपब्लिक डे में झंडा लहरा के वो गाना गा दिया।
या तो एक तो वो फैक्टर था। सेकंड वाज, my parents actually come from a background where they've studied in government rural schools till 10th or say 12th. Now they actually changed their family, or they actually changed the fate of the family, kind of thing, that they were the first ones to step out, live in a city, give that life to their kid, where other siblings or say cousins or the other extended family relative kids were not getting the kind of opportunities that I was getting, because my family actually lived in a better place, a better city. They put me in a better school, I got better resources to study, I got better competitions to participate into, I got better reasons and better opportunities to be celebrated. And the other
Can
people
you put that a bit in perspective?
Yeah.
Which village or town were they from, and where did you move? Where did they move? Where you grew up?
Yeah. So my father belongs to a village named Gade Pimpalgaon. It is a small village in Beed district, Maharashtra. My mother was a daughter to an army man. So she was born somewhere in Amritsar. Then she's changed cities. But finally, she has mostly grew up in Paradi, which is again a town. In the same district, Beed, Maharashtra. And my father shifted to Aurangabad, which is now called as Sambhajinagar, a city in Maharashtra again, where I was born and brought up. I did my schooling there. He gave me best of the resources. I studied in a very good school, one of the best known schools in the city. And hence I got better opportunities. जबकि उनके भाई बहनों के बच्चे अब भी विलेज के उन्हीं स्कूल्स में पढ़ रहे थे जहां मम्मा पापा ने पढ़ाई की है. So I got better access to opportunities, I got better access to resources and people. Now, when you meet in a gathering of say 50 or 100 people, your child has got 10 opportunities better and has did something public speaking kind of stunt in age of 3, she would be celebrated for that. A, I'm very thankful to the resources. B, I agree that I wasn't shy and I was fearless. So those were the things. Now, over the time, I think third reason why I was very celebrated could also be because I have a sibling. So we are 2 kids to my parents. Like our parents, I have a brother, younger brother, who is a Down syndrome child. So he's a special child. So within his growing years, I was always put in a spot to be a responsible kid. तुम बड़ी हो तो सबको सुनने मिलता है कि बेटा तुम बड़ी हो, तुम समझ लो. But in my case, I was also taught, or maybe I was also put in a position where I grew up as a second parent to him. That I automatically, when I was 4 or 5, he was born, I got to know that after 3 years or 4 years, he's not walking or talking like normal kids. So he had a different growing years, and because of that, I was made more responsible, more independent, and more maternal instincts from a young age, which also made me more multitasking, which also gave me better opportunities to take care of him as well as myself. So I grew up more maturely as well as in a responsible family, where I was expected to behave a certain way so that my younger brother can also facilitate in the same environment. And because I was taking and embracing the responsibility on me, that could also be a reason that my parents, always kind of celebrated me.
Shruti, I'm going to now ask you a question on a complete tangent, which we don't normally do, and feel free to say no. But I think Down syndrome, that's number one, is very unheard of in across the world, and even where it is prevalent, लोगों को पता ही नहीं है कि क्या होता है, except when they are when people are pregnant, और यहाँ पे NHS बता देता है and wherever else कुछ कुछ बोलते हैं. But can you give a 1 minute summary of what is Down syndrome? क्योंकि I think for some of our viewers, I think it'll be very useful in their life.
Sure. So I'll just try to, describe in whatever ways I have learned about it. I'm definitely not a
Yeah.
doctor or a medical
No,
professional.
no, and that's the most useful because doctor वाले तो YouTube channel बहुत होते हैं, but
Sure.
actual person within the family वाले बहुत कम लोग होते हैं जो बताते हैं कि क्या होता है.
Right. So Down syndrome is actually a genetic condition. It happens because of the chromosome duplication, जिसको आप रोक नहीं सकते हो या ठीक भी नहीं कर सकते हो. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि if he's born with Down syndrome over the years we can cure it. No, we can't because it's a genetic condition. The person is born with extra copy of chromosome, जिसकी वजह से क्या होता है कि आपका जो body और brain का development है वो नॉर्मल जैसे होना चाहिए वैसे नहीं होता है. It gives you a delayed, say, physical growth. They also look alike, so they have distinct facial features. A little almond size, almond shaped eyes, a flat nose bridge, a smaller head, and they also have increased certain issues. Most of the Down syndrome kids or the children cannot talk like we do. They do not have a written memory, which also makes it difficult for them to study in a school in a normal environment क्योंकि वो लिखा हुआ याद नहीं कर सकते. So if I tell you that this is A and this symbol is called as A, this symbol is called as B, I tell you thrice, you remember it as a kid because their grasping power is very high. In Down syndrome, we have tried that for years with my brother, but he still does not remember this symbol is A and this is B, cannot differentiate. He cannot also have a color memory. He cannot also have. So mostly what I have observed is they have visual memory. They can remember people. They can remember songs. He knows all the lyrics of all the songs. He can operate devices because he has a very good visual memory. ऐप के कलर और उससे उसको समझ आएगा कि दिस इज इंस्टाग्राम, दिस इज व्हाट्सएप, दिस इज वीडियो कॉलिंग फीचर, दिस पर्सन का डीपी इज मेरी दीदी का कॉल आ रहा है वीडियो कॉल. ही कैन अंडरस्टैंड ऑल ऑफ दैट. ही कांट टाइप माय नेम ऑन व्हाट्सएप. He can't read and write. He has a good visual memory. So I think that is, I am not sure if it is for all of the people with Down syndrome.
I think that's pretty consistent.
Yeah, it is.
My wife's brother has Down syndrome too. And so, first of all, thank you for giving that explanation. My wife has not been able to explain it that well to me, and that really helps. But one of the things I asked my wife is, "Ki, why did it happen?" And she said one of the reasons was that her mother was slightly older when she had the child. And I think there's some correlation between the age of the mother and Down syndrome. Was that something similar in your family?
My mom was 22 when she delivered my brother. My mom was 19 or 20 when I was
Oh,
born.
wow.
So
Okay.
she was married
बिल्कुल.
at 18.
Okay,
तो ये
courage,
तो गलत है.
courage,
Mm,
courage,
mm, mm.
Yeah.
courage.
And I think in my family, what I've seen is it's genetic. A lot other siblings of my dad and people
उनके भी थे Down
younger
syndrome
generations.
in your family?
Not like Down syndrome, but I know of other genetic conditions that the elder people in the family have had, and we have had a history. So I think it might be a genetic condition, and the other factors.
Do you
like
think that might be a Down syndrome or similar thing that wasn't diagnosed because it's very difficult to diagnose. I mean, only in the last 20-25 years can we regularly diagnose it. उससे पहले मतलब Down, I don't know the history of Down. एक बंदा था, उसका syndrome था, इसलिए वो बन गया.
Right. So what I have heard is, because we are very close to the topic, and we keep asking people that, how did you know about the child? Was it told to you by the doctor? Whenever we meet any new parents who have special kids, we ask them questions like within conversations. So my mom and dad tell me that when they used to visit doctors, they did not really have an idea. The only idea that was provided to them is the growth isn't well. So that could also mean that the child's weight is not well, or the growth as in like thoda slow hai aise sab. So only that was being told, which for which they increase the supplements of say vitamins or whatever they do for it. Nothing other than that. But now I think the technology and everything is enabled so that there are symptoms or there are cues which you can take and understand, so people do understand it within the pregnancy time. I'm not sure 100% of it is detectable, but I think now it is possible. Earlier, like as you said, 10-20 साल पहले तो नहीं था.
And Suti, feel free to say, कि Vikas, let's move on to the next topic. How did it affect your family, and how is your brother doing? Like, do kids with Down syndrome get to have a happy life, and how does it affect their parents? Because I'll tell you, I have my brother who has a special needs child, and I remember going to a doctor in Chicago saying, "Ki my brother has this special needs child. What will we do?" And the doctor looked at me and he said, "The child will be okay. It's more about the family." Like, ki, so can you talk a little bit about that? Like, how was it growing up with a special needs brother? How was it for your brother? How was it for you? How was it for your parents? For me,
Right.
like, that's a seems like a very difficult challenge in itself.
Uh, in my childhood years, yes, I felt like that because it feels like you're born with a responsibility. Your parents all the time tell you to, babysit a kid or a toddler, and you're not really expected to babysit a toddler of like a year or 2 or 3 when you're yourself 7-8 years old. But I did that. So in the growing years, I have had my own different reactions to it. Uh, Talking about how my brother has had his journey is initially, I think for 5 or 6 years he couldn't walk. He couldn't understand things around him. He also started talking very late. I don't have a clear memory, but I think 8 or 9 years old was when he started framing words. Sentences though was very late. Then my parents had a very hard time in the initial 2-3 years. Most of the people, I mean, I don't know if I should say this in the podcast, but many people around them did tell them that why do you want to raise up a kid like this? Are there not options to not raise a kid like this?
Sure,
And
that's yeah.
it was, yeah, because it's not just about them having difficult time to raise the kid. They also have to think who will take care of the kid or the baby after them, because there will be a time when you think that I might not be enough or I might not be present for my children all the time in the world.
Absolutely.
So they also had these kind of thoughts growing up. Even now they have it, but as I grew up, they did find confidence in me and they did start understanding that maybe I will be the one taking care of him after them. Though that does not solve their problems or the concerns, obviously, but now they've grew stronger with it. My brother has become more social. He has started talking to people. Earlier in his growing age, he was very shy. Initially, he did not understand what is happening, so that was fine. We actually thought that he's not understanding and it is a problem, but no, that was a blessing. When he started understanding that he's not like other kids, that was when the problem started for us, because he started learning that kids around him are going to normal schools, he is not. Kids around him can do things that he is not able to. So he also started spotting differences, and after some years he gained the maturity to understand that there's something special about him. And that actually became a challenge for us to explain him that yes, you're right, but then you have to accept it. So growing, even he had a problem with that. In his teenage, like the last 5 years or so, he's growing very bravely and maturely. So now he frames sentences well, he talks to people. Now his language is understandable by normal people. Earlier it was like हम सिर्फ घर वाले लोग समझ पाते थे कि वो क्या बोल रहे हैं. अब कोई नॉर्मल रैंडम इंसान के साथ वो बात करे तो वो भी समझ सकते हैं कि वो क्या बात कर रहे हैं. So yeah, it's quite a journey. For me, I wouldn't talk much that how it has affected me, but the only thing I would say is that might be a reason why I grew very responsible. That might be a reason that I always have the urge of doing multiple things, and that also might be a reason why I always want to have charge of things, because I was put in a spot where I was, I grew up that way. I had those things that let me figure out things, let me handle things, let me do things. So the managerial instincts are not because of MBA. The managerial instincts are because of my upbringing. And
I think Shruti, I will add one more thing. Is so I'm the older kid, and my brother, thankfully, younger kid, uh, is all right. He didn't have Down syndrome or anything of that sort, but still, 80% of what you just said, वो वाले ना older kid instincts होते हैं कि आई एम द बॉस, दिस इज हर. और वो ना, एज आई एम नाउ रियलाइजिंग, इट्स कमिंग इनटू माय पेरेंटिंग आल्सो, when I have kids, is because I'm used to that. And I also see that younger kids who become parents, like my own brother or other people around me who are younger kids, they have a very different approach to parenting. Now, I'm not going to take this episode on talking about parenting skills, but I think these are little things that actually matter. How your upbringing was, and upbringing, I'm talking about upbringing within the same set of parents, right? Older kid, younger kid.
Shruti, you touched on some very interesting points like failure, passion, celebrated child, special child. I want to know a little bit about your parents. Tell me about your parents. Like, Papa क्या करते हैं, मम्मी क्या करती हैं, and I think like I've talked to a lot of people. There's something special about you, and I think that comes from your parents. So can you talk a bit more about that?
sure. So, as I said, I'll talk about my mother first. I think I- I'm choosing that because most of the years in my life, I've always believed that my father is the one who has shaped me into a confident personality, who's given me the more opportunities. Because in your early ages, you do not see the sacrifices, you do not see the work done by a homemaker mom. So that also was my case. But now that I am working a full time job and also living alone, so I know the adulting part, that how much effort it takes to just manage household chores and do things and also work. I now recognize the effort and the kind of consistency my mom had put into growing up a family with so many different challenges and things. So my mom first.
Shruti, I'm going to translate that very simply. इसकी जिस दिन बर्तन खुद धोने पड़ते हैं ना, उस दिन मम्मी की ज्यादा याद आती है.
डेफिनेटली ट्रू ट्रू ट्रू. और मेरी मम्मी को सिर्फ बर्तन नहीं धोने थे, मेरी मम्मी को दो ऐसे बच्चे संभालने थे जो अपने अपने में वैसे ही बहुत अलग थे. तो शी ऑल्सो हैड हर ओन चैलेंजेस. आई मीन, a mother, a homemaker already is a very dedicated person who does not get an off, and we know all about it. But in my case, I also have seen my mom going through challenges very differently because of the kind of environment, and I told the upbringing dynamics that we had. So my mom comes from a family where my Nana ji, her father was an army person. So she's been born and brought up with much discipline. She needs things to be done very quickly within time and discipline. She cannot give you more than 5 minutes for doing a task. He's like, ये काम मैं 5 मिनट में करती हूँ, तुम्हें 6 मिनट नहीं लगने चाहिए, 5 मिनट में करो. So she was that kind of person, strict in my childhood. She comes from Paradi Vaijanad, as I said, a small town in the Beed district, Maharashtra. And she only studied till 12th standard until she was married. So she was married at 18. And she did not actually come with a very enriching opportunities like I did get, or many of the girls, women that today we get. She actually belonged to the 40-50% of the women who were denied access to higher education, freedom, living the life on their own terms, as we see. And she accepted it. So she moved with,
But क्यों, Shruti? I mean, she's an what's it called? An army brat, right?
yeah.
Army
Yeah, but
kid.
we're talking about what, 1990s, 1980s. So वो time पे तो
Yeah, that's when I
definitely
grew up. So don't talk about that 1990s as prehistoric.
her parents came from a much smaller village. They themselves were
Got
not
it.
very educated. Maybe you came from a family. I mean, I'm just making an assumption. I might not be
Yeah,
true.
I've got
Maybe
people
you
in my
came.
family as army kids. उनके
Yeah.
like my first, second cousins, कुछ हैं army brats, as we used to call them. इसकी ठीक है, मतलब हर बार पार्टी में होती थी, उनके घर में फ्री की दारू, फ्री के अंडे आते थे आर्मी कैंटीन से. दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, एज वी सी इट इट्स नॉट द थिंग. बट उसके ये भी होता था कि उनके जो डैड्स थे, यूजुअली डैड्स ही होते हैं एटलीस्ट इन द 90s, जो आर्मी वाले होते हैं, वो कभी कश्मीर जाते हैं, कभी अरुणाचल प्रदेश जाते हैं और कहीं पर जाते हैं, और कभी कभी उनको शिफ्ट भी होना पड़ता है अगर वो लॉन्गर टर्म पोस्टिंग होती है. So that's what your mom did, right? She went around the country.
Yeah, most of. But as I said, that they resided back or got settled back in the same space or environment where my grandparents, like my mom's father and mother, started from. So they came back to the same society again. They did not live in a tier one city or around the people, the kind of people that we have grew up with who believe that higher education, standing up on your own feet, having financial independence is also equivalently important for a girl. That was not the kind of environment she grew up with. So she was married very soon. Then she came to her in-law. So my married off to my dad, and then I was born at within like 2 years. So she became a mother very soon. She was a mom at 20, then again a mom for the second kid after the 3 4 years. So she quite had a lot of responsibilities on her shoulder in her younger age, and she has been very dedicated housemaker, homemaker, a mother, wife, daughter-in-law, and all of the roles that she played. Talking about my father, he was born in Pimpalgaon, Gadi Pimpalgaon, which is again a small village in mid district. So till 10th standard, he studied in the government school, the rural school that I'm talking about. Then he came to Sambhaji Nagar, where my father's sister used to reside. So she lived there with her husband. She was married off and she lived there, settled there. So he lived with her for 2 years, did his junior college, and then he started earning on himself. थोड़ा पैसा घर से आया ऐसे करके उन्होंने पढ़ाई पूरी की, and then he never went back to the village again. He settled, and then you know he decided that here is where I want to live. I would not want to go back. I want to give my kids and my family a better life. And yeah, within a few years, even my grandparents shifted. So I've been born and brought up in a
And
bigger,
what
fuller
work did your
family.
dad do, Shruti?
Oh yeah. So initially, when he started, he was a businessman. So we had electrical shops, and he also did a few contract basis projects and everything. But as my brother was born, it became difficult for him to sustain in that because a lot of money was taken. And in business, I mean, that's what I hear from my dad, that you have to keep investing the money and you can't withdraw all the money. So that was hampered. Somewhere also he had to leave the place and go to Pune or Mumbai for my brother's treatment. So a lot of those things happened, and eventually he decided to start a job. So he's worked with Tata, HDFC, and a few more fintech banks and everything. He's had his corporate journey. Now he's again back into business, and now that my education is completed and he doesn't have much financial responsibilities, so now my parents are a bit relaxed and doing what they want to.
Very nice. So, Shruti, I want to hear from you. What was your dad's reaction when he heard your salary, when he heard your first salary package?
I think the first line he said was, "You've started earning an amount. वो मेरी आखिरी सैलरी से ज्यादा है. मतलब तेरी पहली सैलरी मेरी आखिरी सैलरी से ज्यादा है." That's what he
Right.
said.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. And
But you know what, Shruti? Uh, my dad, he's from IIT. He's done a lot of things. I don't want to name the company, but some of the top companies in the world. Before he retired, or rather, he self-retired and started his own business. He he was like India head of some companies in the early 90s. And then in 2000, when KD and we graduated from IIM Bangalore, I didn't even get, I got like a median salary. I'm not saying that I got like some super high salary, but मेरी वो जो भी salary थी ना, my dad told me exactly the same thing कि तेरी salary मेरी last salary से ज़्यादा है.
Oh, nice. That's a great feeling. I mean,
Okay.
they feel so much
Yeah,
pride.
he was like technically a CEO. Sorry, technically not a CEO, but he was India head of a company which didn't have an India CEO, an
Right.
American company. And that was okay. You can discount it because that was 5 6 years before I graduated. Because after that, he doesn't have a salary. He's doing his own business.
Right.
And he said, "My last salary, you're earning your first salary more than my last salary."
Great. It's actually huge. Yeah. Continue.
It was, and I exactly know how you feel, because I've been through that.
I get it. I definitely get it. It feels very special. I mean, the first reaction is actually something that I'll carry all my life.
And Shruti, what also at that time, sometimes I feel like 25 years later, is कि maybe those were the times. इंडिया में वो आए थे नरसिम्हा राव, मनमोहन सिंह, फिर एक ओपनिंग हुई थी 1990s में, लिबरलाइजेशन एंड ऑल दैट, फिर सैलरीज काफी
Hmm.
इंक्रीज होनी शुरू हुई थी. एंड एज वी
After the
ऑल नो,
globalization, yes.
इसकी लास्ट फ्यू इयर्स में थोड़ी सी स्टेबल हैं, बिकॉज यू कांट कीप इंक्रीजिंग एट दैट रेट. द सैलरीज कांट कीप इंक्रीजिंग, स्काई रॉकेटिंग.
Yeah.
अदरवाइज इंडिया विल बी अनकॉम्पिटिटिव ग्लोबली. तो वो थोड़ा सा स्टेबलाइजेशन हो रहा है, एंड दैट्स फाइन.
Right.
बट आई एम इम्प्रेस्ड कि अभी भी हमारी पिछली जनरेशन से एक IIM ग्रेजुएट की सैलरी हमारी पिछली जनरेशन की लास्ट सैलरी से ज्यादा हो रही है. जो भी है, जो भी जॉब थी पिछली जनरेशन की. एंड दैट इज द बिगेस्ट एक्साइटमेंट फॉर मी, कि जो भी आपके डैड की, मेरे डैड की, केडिया तुम्हारे डैड की, जो भी उन्होंने कमाया था, उनकी लास्ट थी, इन्फ्लेशन एडजस्टेड, हम फिर भी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन को ज्यादा सैलरी दे रहे हैं आज की डेट में. दैट्स
Uh,
what
I think that's
amazes me
subjective.
and excites me.
I think that's subjective, considering that we're talking about the 1, 2, or 3% of the top B schools, IIT, IM grads. I come from a tier 3 engineering college, so I did my engineering in the same place in my hometown, and I still have the friends in touch. I am still very connected to them. I talk to them. As you said, the salaries can't keep increasing. Definitely, they're not increasing at all. They joined at 3.5 LPA. They're still earning 5.5 even after 2, 3 years after doing the same job. Now, I believe that should be increased, because after a certain experience, not just experience, what can you do with a 3.5 or 4 lakh LPA package in a city like Pune or Mumbai? You can't. It's very difficult. You have to cut down on expenses to an extent where you again go to your parents and ask for money. Today, if they face an emergency situation, a health crisis, they do not have money to cover it up, unless it's covered by an health expense. That's a different thing. But all I'm saying is, I think you're right, but only with the case of the 3 or 5% of the population that we are catering to or talking to, which is
And,
the
and,
IIT,
and yeah,
IIM,
you're
top B
absolutely right.
schools.
We are talking to the top 3% or
Yeah,
5%,
top 3 or
because
5%. Yes.
every week we do in our episodes, we talk to the top 3%, 5% people like you, Shruti, कि जो IIM के बाद वाले लोग. And I
Yeah.
agree कि ठीक है, अगर आप नहीं IIM से हो तो नहीं है उतनी सैलरी.
हाँ,
बट आई एम
इंडिया
अमेज्ड
में
कि
एक्चुअली नहीं
देखो, अगर आपने IIM कर लिया है, एंड मे बी इट इज नॉट ग्रोइंग एज मच एज इट यूज्ड टू,
है।
and sometimes it's always grass was greener last
On
summer.
the other side, yes.
So, Shruti, let's talk a little bit about your work. Tell me about how you like working in healthcare. What exactly is your job? What is it that you do?
Right. So I worked as an area sales manager in Integrace while you reached out to me at that point, and I took a bold call. I resigned from my first job after 10 months, and now I've joined as an associate marketing manager in a new firm, which I am soon going to join in the next few days. I would not want to mention the name as of now because I haven't just completed the joining process. So yeah, talking about that. First, how is it working in healthcare? It is an industry which is perceived, and it is truly an evergreen field. I mean, people will never stop getting ill, considering the kind of environment, pollution, anxiety, depression, stress, and all the things that we are facing these days. There are many new things adding up to the existing diseases that we had. So, definitely, there's growth, there's potential, there is market cap, there is a lot of opportunity space for India to get globally also high, a lot of improvement that is required. My experience in it is I have worked in sales, and I don't see many women in the pharmaceutical space and the healthcare on field also. I mean, not just pharmaceutical, I have seen many different industries where women are really less on field as in on field and in the market. You need to visit the retailers, the distributors, the wholesalers, the pharmacies, the doctors, the surgeons, the kind of customer portfolio, whatever you have. So if you're working in FMCG, say you visit retailers and wholesalers. If you work, I was working in pharmaceuticals, I used to visit pharmacies and wholesalers, distributors, stockists. So I see a lot less women. I mean, the ratio might literally be 1:20, or even the disparity might even be more than that. That's the first thing. Second is, how do I like the work? That is the greatest exposure I actually had. I mean, it was very tough to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, or 4 a.m. in the morning, catch a bus, train, flight, or whatever mode of transport, whatever is feasible, and based on your distance A to distance B, I had to take the mode of transport. And your work doesn't end by travel 5 hours. It starts after travel of 5 hours. Then for the next 8 hours, you're going to meet a lot of people. You're going to talk to a new set of people. You're going to negotiate. You're going to do a lot of things, and you do all of it when the weather conditions are extreme. You're either in very hot sun, you're either in rainy seasons. Then all of these things, there are a lot of problems, a lot of challenges, but I think that is the most exciting part about it, that what I've learned on the roads, I might have never learned it through the AC classrooms in MBA, or say anywhere in a comfortable place. So it was definitely not comfortable. It was very challenging, not just the travel and the part, but there were many other challenges, like how do people perceive when a woman, and this, I mean, what age is mine? It's 24, 25 when I entered the market. And people are reporting me sometimes were also twice my age. Or people who I'm going to talk to, the stockist owners and everything, they're like 50s, 60s, people in that age. So a lot of times, first you have to prove your competence. Why should somebody listen to you? I mean, just because you belong to an IIM, that doesn't work in the market. That was my first learning. That your prestigious degree from a college is not going to help you. That's not going to help you win people. Second, market does not believe in degrees. Market only believes in competence and your consistency, your dedication. So that was another learning. As I said, that what roads have taught me, maybe books might have never taught. And another thing is what challenges and the kind of discomfort I've felt, I've also learned how to navigate all of that. So now I'm hyper independent. As I said, my upbringing already put me in that zone. So I always felt like, I can do it. I still felt the same way, that I can do it, but I never knew how to do it in an environment like this. Because even when I was taking up the responsibility of the charge at home, it was still a comfortable space where my comfort was appreciated. It was important because I was put in that spot by the people who love me. What happens when you're put in the spot by the people who are there out in the world, and they are not going to be, I mean, soft to you? That's not their work. Their work is not to make a comfortable space for you. Their work is to put you in a spot where you learn, where you thrive. So that was
So
an
what was the
entirely different
reason?
experience.
देखो, you've explained it very well. कि देखो, I've been on the roads. I've met with stockists and retailers and doctors and surgeons. I've
Distributors,
woken up
yes.
at 4 a.m. and traveled, and I've done that for 10 months. And I assure you, like I'm almost double your age, that experience that you gained is going to be very valuable throughout your life. What was the reason for you leaving the job?
Oh, so firstly, it was I am a very core marketing person. So initially, I believed that I want to be the FMCG girl and I want to be in this industry. But within my experience years and through the content creation time also, I believe that for me, more than being or attached to an industry or to a product line, the idea that I had in my MBA or pre MBA, that did not stay with me. With my growth and with the career move that I have had, I realized that I want to be more in the creative space, more in the space where I learn faster, more in the space where I get to know and get to do marketing of all sorts. So, be it creative marketing, be it digital marketing, be it online marketing, be it retail trade marketing, I also want to have a hands on experience on all of that. And being in the kind of role that I was, getting that opportunity was 2 years away from me, at least 1.5, 2 years away from me. Luckily, and say, however, I got two opportunities without even trying hard. I didn't start applying for jobs. I didn't really want to switch, or I didn't really get on the move that okay, there's this 2 months, I'm going to reform my resume, I'm going to do 100 application searches, send resumes. I didn't do all of that. A, because I built a good LinkedIn network. there were people who reached out to me. And I find that sometimes you should not wait for the right time and then take the move. You should actually take the opportunity as it comes and take it as a challenge. So that's sort of thing happened where I got this opportunity and I got to do something so early, which I was expecting after 1.5
Correct. That
years.
makes sense. When you
Then
wanted
why not?
to, more than the
Yeah.
meeting one on one with people, you wanted to be more involved in, say, the creative part of the marketing. Is that's what I'm
The
hearing?
creative, the strategy, and the branding.
Perfect.
I don't, I mean, being in marketing is also meeting people. At the end of the day, there will be creative agencies, people that I will be dealing with. There will be corporate people I will be dealing with. There will be internal, external communications that I will have. People will still be involved. And I genuinely love talking to people and I genuinely want to be in a role where I am involved and surrounded by people.
Did
More
you
of I
feel?
wanted to learn.
Got it. You wanted to learn. I get that. And just in the
Yeah.
interest of time, I want to move on to the next topic. Did you feel unsafe in India being a woman, being out there, living alone, working? Did you feel people encroaching in your personal private space?
Yes, yes, I have felt that a lot of times, and I do not. I mean, earlier that was a problem because I don't know how to say it. I mean, it's not even that easy to say that I started being comfortable with the idea that people are going to behave that way. I mean, somehow that got developed in my brain that it is my responsibility to take the precautions so that some mishap doesn't happen to me, that it is my responsibility to be safe and it is my responsibility to take all the precautions. Somehow I grew up with the idea in the 10 months that if somebody behaves in a certain way, like stares at you for a minute, such incidences happened many a times. They stared inappropriately. Sometimes there were misogynist comments made by some people, but then uh, it's sad, but it's just that I grew past it. I mean, I accepted it and I thought that you can't change the world, you can't change the system in a month. So with a certain time of period, I understood that what are the areas, what is the time, how I can be more safe, what are the measures that I can take. Walking alone 4 or 5 a.m. in the morning to the railway station, if you couldn't find an auto or Uber, was challenging. I felt unsafe, obviously. I just started taking routes and I just started taking options, travel options, which put me in a place where I don't have to face these situations often. I just started doing that. I learned कि कहाँ रह सकते हैं, कैसे जा सकते हैं, कहाँ खा सकते हैं, कैसे लोगों से बात करनी चाहिए. Some cues that you get. If somebody stares at you, there's a certain point till you can ignore, a certain point where you have to speak up. It's just that I learned it.
Shruti, from a safety point of view, and I've not lived in India for more than 18 years now, uh, and even when I was living in the metros. From a safety point of view, Uber, is it safe? Uber, Ola, whatever, is it safe? Because sometimes I hear news कि कुछ हो गया इधर उधर. Is that a regular thing or is that like a complete one-off? Because the way I see it is कि अगर आप ऑफिस जा रहे हो, आप ऑफिस के कैंपस में probably safe हो, आप घर पे probably safe हो, and the only other thing you need to take care of is कि आप ऑफिस से घर कैसे जाओ और घर से ऑफिस कैसे जाओ, and that is Uber or similar.
Right. So I think in my experience, I have felt more comfortable taking an Uber and auto, Uber or Ola or say any other known application based service than going with a local auto because now I can't track. So if I'm in an Uber or Ola, I have the details, I can share it with friends, families, and it's very easy. I can do the same things like take pictures, but I will never have the ID verification of the person. I might not be able to click अंधेरे में उसका चेहरा. Ola and Uber or such platforms give me a better convenience and access to have the whole and information that it is shareable with the people. So it feels more safe. Now it's just I feel more safe. I never know if it is more safer than the local autos or it is not until and unless something happens in the personal experience. You can never comment. I mean, you can never judge somebody and you can never guarantee somebody's intentions.
As we get into the last 10 minutes of the interview, I want to talk about two topics remaining. The first thing I want to ask you is how do you plan to balance the life of a young woman with her own challenges of finding a partner where men don't like to commit? They just don't. fertility years of a woman being something that's biologically imposed on us, you starting your career, how do you plan to balance all that? And the second, maybe you can spend 5 minutes on that, because I think that would be very important for a lot of our viewers. And the second thing I want you to maybe tell us is something that you thought I wish Vikas and Meglani asked me that question. Something that you think maybe we should have asked and we didn't ask. So we'll
I
end.
am Vizag. I am Vizag ka placement process. I am Vizag ka living style. That kind of a thing.
So
Yeah, I
and
mean,
maybe
is
we
that
can
a
talk
question?
about,
Should I answer it?
नहीं
no,
नहीं
we will talk
first
about I'm
first पहले
Vizag
first
place.
पहले first.
Yeah. So and then we'll talk about I'm Vizag placement process and lifestyle. And
Right.
but I want to start with this: that you're 25 years old, uh, and take it with someone who has an 8-year-old daughter, and women have it harder in life than men, uh, because you are balancing much higher expectations than men have to. And make it personal for me. Make it, don't give me what I'll read in the news, or what I, but make it like, how does Shruti herself balance her career with her with her search for a partner, and with her own family expectations? Uh, how difficult is that, and how do you manage that?
I think I'm very young and inexperienced at this point to comment about it, because that really is something my dad keeps asking me all the time. I was like, "शादी कब करोगे बेटा? बच्चे कब करोगे? और क्या करना है तुम्हें? कब switch करना है? तुम्हें content करना है क्या full time?" Yeah, these are the questions that not just my father. I'm very sure a lot of people ask their daughters, or a woman gets to hear this all the time. Firstly, I think I'm still figuring it out. I don't think I'm very stable in my career. It's just 10 months I've been into corporate. I would like to spend a year or two more to, get hang on things. And before, I already have a lot of things on my plate. I believe I have a full time job. I'm trying to do content creation with it. I live close by to my family, like 5 hours away. So I try to visit once, twice in a month. So I also get to live the family life. um, I'm also at the age where I also want to meet my friends, socialize. I'm also at that age where I also want to not forget my hobbies and also work for myself, because I'm still not very robotic and haven't been into the very schedule person. I still want to enjoy things out of my routine, like maybe pottery classes sometime, painting sometime. So I already have a lot on my plate. I'm trying to find a balance between all of those things. To add on one more responsibility into it, which is marriage, where a partner enters, his family will enter into my family. It is a whole lot different responsibility. So I think first the existing things will be balanced, and post that I would take another step, then add on to another thing. But I really am in the still figuring it out phase. So maybe a year or two into it. Yeah.
And I think what I realized, and I think what I'll tell my daughter is that even in the US, what I see is that s- that there seems to be an assumption that it's the woman who has to compromise. कि अगर if you get married, and is the man's career that should come first, and uh, so I think what I hope to be able to impart that to my daughter is uh, that find a man who is not going to start with that assumption. And the conversation would be that, sure, if my daughter wants to be a homemaker, have children, she can choose that, or if she wants to work, she should be able
Yeah.
to choose that. But find a man who doesn't start with the default assumption that it's the woman who has to compromise. uh, I think
Right.
that's a good
I'll
strategy.
tell you a very different dynamic that has changed. So earlier, when I was in my teens or say 20s, I 20, 21, that age, 18 to 21, 22 age, my mom was also of this assumption, as you said, that the woman is the one who has to compromise. And I do not blame her for thinking that way, because I told you, the kind of background she has had and the kind of opportunities she has had, she's seen it. She's experienced it firsthand, and that's what she's believed. It is her environment. She also believed that at the end of the day, you have to know how to cook, you have to take the responsibility of the family, you have to raise kids, you have to give your time and your important part of your life will be your in-laws and your husband and all of these things. Eventually, as I went to IIM and she saw me doing things I love and being financially independent, the same person who used to tell me कि बेटा रोटी बनाना सीख लो now tells me कि बेटा रोटी बनाने के लिए बाई रख लो. Have help for yourself because you're getting drained a lot. तो पहले she taught me कि तुम्हें ही बनानी पड़ेगी.
Yes.
Now she's telling me कि तुम्हें आता है. You can do it in times when it is necessary. But if you can afford help and if you can get help, why not take it? So I love cooking now. I am actually the person who's like, Mom, I'll cook myself. I like the taste of my food and all of that. And she's the one that, why do you want to do so many things? Get help. And I have seen this change where they have come a long way. And now, earlier it was the case where they also thought that the guy should earn more than me, or say anybody in my cousins who are getting married, the guy should be better educated, belong to better kind of family in terms of whatever criteria they have. I've seen a shift where they have believed that no, maybe you should find a partner who better complements and will help you do things that you're already doing and you can grow. They still have the same mindset that should be better in certain criteria. But I think eventually...
Shruti, isn't that like every parent's mindset? Even if you were a boy, let's say. I mean, I don't think this is a gender thing. I think this is like people, as a parent, I would tell my daughter as well as my son, and they are like far away from marriage, but I would, if I project it forward, is कि हाँ कुछ better ही देखो ना. If they ask me, I think जब तक वो बड़े होंगे,
but I think compliment is the better. I think because usually लोग क्या करते हैं, better माने मेरे से ज्यादा पैसे कमाता है, मेरे से ज्यादा educated है, परिवार जैसा है, ज्यादा
ऐसा देखो जो बहुत ही सही है. Whether you're a boy or a girl, it doesn't matter.
No, but I would say compliment is a better thing, right?
I think why should it matter? I mean, like the kind of better I have been hearing from, the kind of mentalities I'm talking about is better in terms of कि अगर तुम लड़की हो और अगर तुम 5 रुपए कमाती हो, तो जिस लड़के से तुम शादी करोगी वो लड़के को तुमसे 1 रुपया ज्यादा कमाना पड़ेगा. That's the kind of mentality I'm talking about. That is the better I'm talking about. Yeah. In terms of better, family is also similar. That if this family holds 100 rupees, the family that you should go to should have 102 rupees. For example, in terms of possessions, in terms of backgrounds, in terms of facilities, or in terms of resources that you will get should be better. And it's still the mentality.
I think, Shruti, the way you're going, I think your parents and family are going to say कि at least उसके Instagram और LinkedIn पे better followers होने चाहिए. At least followers तो ज़्यादा हो.
Okay, so let's move on to the last question, and we've crossed the 1 hour mark, and so our last question for you in this interview is, or in this discussion is, what is it that you think we missed? What is it that you think that the world should know about Shruti?
I think, I think one thing is that whatever podcast interviews or places I've been to, a lot of people have asked me, life at IIM, how did IIM help you, package after IIM, work after IIM. Nobody really tried to ask questions that are related to me as a person. I don't think you missed anything, but we really did touch upon different topics that I have never answered in an interview. I actually didn't even think that I would be comfortable talking about certain topics on camera or something like that. But thank you for creating a safe space and a comfortable space where you ask me questions that are rarely asked to me, and I might have not answered or even thought about answering such questions in an interview ever before. So these were very unique questions. You could have asked the same questions like life at IIM, life after IIM, how did you get into IIM, why MBA, why corporate life, why not UPSC is what I was been asked in an IIM interview. You could have asked the same conventional questions that I do get asked a lot of times. So I don't think we missed anything, but I'm glad that we touched upon many new and different areas that nobody really asked me about.
Thank you so much for this. But we are going to ask you about life at IIM.
Of course. How could we miss that?
एक बार तो बता दो ना, एक बार बता तो दो.
यार वो ढोल पीट पीट के वो ढोल फट चुका है, उसको पीटना बंद कर मेरे। You had a great
लाइफ एंड
conversation,
IIM,
Shruti.
लाइफ
It's
एंड
such a
IIM पे
great
YouTube पे
ending.
ही ऐसे 50 वीडियो मिल जाएंगे जिसमें मैंने बता दिया है कि लाइफ एंड IIM कैसी थी,
अच्छा,
द
तुम्हारे चैनल
सनराइज,
पे
द सनसेट्स, द
तुम्हारे
बीचेस,
चैनल
द
पे
माउंटेन्स। मेरे चैनल पे,
एक
फिर
काम
कुछ
करते
और
हैं।
चैनल्स
तो
जिन्होंने
मैं
इंटरव्यू पॉडकास्ट के लिए बुलाया था।
नो हाउ टू डू दिस, बट वो हम यहाँ पर फॉर आवर व्यूअर्स हम यहाँ पे कहीं पर डाल देंगे वो कुछ तो ऊपर। इज दैट राइट? इज दैट द बेस्ट वे टू डू इट? कि दैट विल पुट अ लिंक टू योर YouTube channel or Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever.
I just realized, Shruti, that I might actually be older than your parents. Because you said that your mom had you when she was 19 and you're 25. That means your mom is around
20,
40,
yeah,
45 now.
45,
And
yeah.
if your
Me and
dad's
my
a
mom
couple of
have a 2 generation difference.
and if your dad's a couple of
Yeah,
years older than her, then he's around 47.
yeah.
And I'm more than 47.
50
क्या बात कर रहा है?
So it's such a
केडिया, तू
हाँ,
इतना बुढ़ा है?
मैं इतना बुढ़ा हूँ. So Shruti, I think it was a pleasure talking to
नहीं
you.
नहीं,
And
वो
yeah.
बुढ़े नहीं है। आई थिंक मेरे पेरेंट्स जहाँ से है ना, वो बाल विवाह हो रहे थे। 18 साल पे शादी वादी हो गई उनकी।
No, but it was a great pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much. I think you touched on topics that people will not feel comfortable talking about. I think you do have a personality uh, that's beautiful, and I wish you all the best. And अगर सिलिकॉन वैली में कभी भी कोई काम पड़े और लंदन में कोई काम पड़े, तो you can always bank on us. And I do see a lot of good things happening with you. So I'll follow your career. Okay.
Thank you for your kind words, and I genuinely feel nice that who doesn't like appreciation? So as I said, I was a celebrated kid, so I've been hearing words like that. But
There's something to that celebration, because see, look, I have a problem. Like, my daughter gets celebrated every time she lifts up a hand and oh, that's the best hand that's ever been raised. But I think growing up with a Down syndrome brother, taking care of him, and coming from that background, and at the age of 25, I think, Biglani, I don't see a lot of 25-year-old Americans with that maturity. Do you see 25-year-old people in London with that maturity?
I think you've hit the nail on the head, because I think people grow faster when they are given more responsibility. People grow faster when there are times of need. And sometimes in more protected environments, people don't grow. In certain ways, people in more protected environments, people grow in a very different way. So I won't I don't have enough knowledge to say how people grow. I've not done a proper study, to be very honest, but I think people grow in different ways in different environments. But definitely, like they say, कि अगर आपको किसी ने धक्का दे दिया है ना पूल में, तो आप स्विमिंग सीख ही लोगे.
So, with that thought, have a happy Sunday to everyone, and good talking to you, Shruti. Bye. Bye, Biglani. Bye, Shruti.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much
Thank
for
you,
having
Shruti.
me.